Okay, well, hey, welcome to the third installment of Let's Talk About Life and Leadership and Speaking. Okay, now you may not be a speaker, but you may have found yourself on here, and I'm glad you have because maybe you are wanting to launch off and be a speaker. Maybe you're a leader, you're a business owner. Maybe you've been working a day to day job and you want to launch off and start your own thing. Well, I hope to chronicle what life is like in that process when you do launch off and break off on your own. And so I want to, I've been trying in the last couple episodes to talk about some just real stuff, because I'm just not like the fluff guy. If you ask me for my opinion, I'm gonna tell you, uh, I do tend to be a little bit people pleaser, so I might smooth it over a little bit, but I'm getting a whole lot better. So case in point, a couple weeks ago, well, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, I don't know when. Last quarter, how about that? Interviewed an amazing guest for the Speak of the Field podcast. Curtis Sprouse is his name. He's the CEO of a company called Eureka Connect. They help high performing teams, and what they do is they provide this amazing behavior modification assessment where they look at how you behave in different situations, low stress, high stress, all over the place, and then they're able to help you kind of get a look at where you're succeeding, where you're not succeeding. And some things came up in this assessment that literally blew my mind. And so that's really been helping me a lot this past couple of weeks as I read through that assessment report, and then as I try to do it. So in this series so far, we've talked about what's it really like. Ooh, the first episode I dove into. Ooh, it's been pretty dark at some moments. And then last week we talked more about peeking under the hood and what's it like when you lose your direction a little bit. And then today I want to dive into this idea about how I used to think rejection sucks. Rejection sucks. And as a former people pleaser, sometimes people pleaser, I'm not as much of a people pleaser anymore. Uh, I used to think rejection was my worst enemy. I want everybody to love me. I want it all to work out. I want everybody to think I'm the greatest speaker. I want everybody to think I'm the greatest leader. And it's just not the case. And in the course of the last 3 to 5 years, I have been through the muck of rejection. I'm talking like rejection that I never thought would happen. Just I'll just throw it out there because it's you and me. I used to work with some people for a long time. I don't even have a relationship with them anymore. I noticed after a while that I was texting for a while. I was trying to keep up. I was trying to text, and there just didn't seem any energy and momentum on the other side. And so it crushed me. Like, I'm talking rip out my insides. And it's taken me time to get to this place where I'm like, that's okay. If they don't need me in that type of a relationship anymore, or if I did something in the past that hurt them and now they've kind of put up a, well, we're going to keep them at, okay, like that's on them, and I've got to be okay to move through that. And especially you, if you're wanting to be a speaker or you're wanting to be a business leader and you're putting yourself out there, like you're putting out your content, you're like, it used to destroy me when I went to Facebook under the professional settings and I would look at my content because you could see how many unfollows and unfriends you could get. And I was like crushed when people would unfollow me. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not your cup of tea. I get it. I get it. And so I want to talk about rejection because I think rejection can actually help us. I mean, the reality is rejection could just be a redirect. Like, okay, I've been going this way, but I keep getting rejected. And so maybe this is the redirection that I need. I keep thinking too, instead of pointing fingers at them or what happened with them or why don't they like my stuff, I got to point the finger back here, redirect it, and go, am I communicating it as clearly as possible? Do I need to go back to the drawing board? Do I need to recreate the blueprint? Yes. So rejection is redirection. And then rejection builds resilience. I mean, it builds resilience. Like, it's amazing how much stronger it will make you if you can see the no as a good thing. If you can see the not now. If you can see, like, for instance, I've been trying to build a relationship with some folks from this company, and I've emailed, I've texted, I've called, I now send them some free stuff, like just to say, hey, I want to help out your business. Nothing on the other end, ghosting. And then all of a sudden last week, I get this text like 9 o'clock in the morning. Hey, can you do a pitch tonight? Like out of the blue. Okay, it builds resilience. It's going to make you stronger. It reveals that it's not always personal. You got to stop thinking that everybody is thinking about you all the time. And for us people pleasers, us fours on the Enneagram, us creative types, us emotional types, high eyes on the disc, yeah, we probably think that everyone's thinking about us. They're just not. So like you gotta stop. Like it could be feedback in disguise. It could be like you getting some great feedback to go, I've got to change. It reveals it's not always personal. And then it's proof you're showing up. Like if you're getting rejected, it's proof that you're putting yourself out there. And so much of the battle is just putting yourself out there. Let me just tell you this. One of my fatal flaws is I spend way too much time preparing, and then I'll spend like 2 or 3 weeks preparing a mass email or an email to potential clients, and then I I just never send it because I don't think it's good enough. I think the time has passed. I don't want to bother them. Oh my goodness, rejection. Like it's proof you're showing up. Uh, uh, here's the reality. And what I try to hope to accomplish over the course of these couple episodes is I want to show you that I am somebody who knows what it's like. Let me just give you a really rudimentary drawing here. This is a hole. I know what it's like to be here, actually a little bit lower, right there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be in the bottom. And I know some of you do too. You're struggling, you're hurting, you're overeating, you're drinking too much, you're scrolling too much, you're doing everything you can just to numb the pain. And I'm telling you this right now, that's me. And guess where I'm going? I'm going this way. I'm going up. I'm going up. It's going to be awesome. And I'm loving that you're along in the journey. So let's succeed together. How can I help you? 989-954-4150. Jason at speakwithpeople.com. Let me know how I can help, how I can be an encouragement. I got 3 minutes till my next podcast. I'm recording this PhD from San Francisco. I just can't wait. By the way, are you watching? Are you listening? Every Monday and Wednesday, we air 2 incredible interviews with global leaders. I mean, this week, Alejandro Ramirez, she was amazing. Talked about the internal culture that has to happen with our communication in our workplaces. Last week was Piers Fallowfield Cooper from the UK. You want to talk about leadership? Just sit and listen to him for a while. And last week was Curtis Sprouse as well, who I talked about at the beginning of this podcast. Speakwithpeople.com/podcast. Would be honored if you'd listen to the episodes, you'd rate us, you'd review us. And on this video, would you give us a like? Would you be here, comment? But I'm here with you because we're gonna document the climb out of the pit. Because we didn't fall into the pit like Andy said. Anybody Parks and Rec? We found ourselves in the bottom of the pit and we're climbing out. And we're going to get through this rejection. We're going to see it as something that is going to be powerful in our lives and it's going to help propel us forward. So thank you for joining this journey. Thanks for being here. Any way I can support you, please put it in the comments. Let me subscribe to your YouTube page. Let me like your stuff. Whatever you need, I'm there. Let's do this together. We'll see you next week for the next episode.